we can see in the next verse. Hence, the cause of bondage is to be traced to the mind only, not in the directly influence. Next verse will say that now is explained that through bondage, the manas, mind, is the cause of sorrow and suffering. Now it is said, Udhyasa yoga purushasya samsmriti. Udhyasa. You don't know. What is Udhyasa? What is Udhyasa?
Superimposition.
Yes. Superimposition. Mohavitji,
Yes, sir.
you please listen. What is being discussed here?
Yes, sir.
What is superimposition? What is superimposition?
Rope and stick.
Yes. Rope and snake. What is happening in rope and snake?
It is appears to be snake, but when you go closer, you realize it's not snake. It's a imposition of snake on rope.
So by that example, what we will come to know?
So real things are not as they appear.
Yes, but which particular example is connected with that? So what is the use of that? What is the utility?
It's one of the forms of delusion of Maya.
No, by that, what we actually try to find?
Separating real from
The
Ultimately, where we conclude from that particular thing, what use? If we see that is not snake, that is a rope, then what is the use of that?
that it's not to be scared of.
So, this is the example of superimposition. So, this superimposition is taking place where? So, in our mind, what kind of superimposition is taking place?
Anyanyodhyas.
Huh?
Anyanyodhyas.
Yes, Anyanodhyasa, but what? What is the substratum and what is the superimposition?
Reality and ignorance.
Yes. The consciousness,
Maya.
I am not the body, but body is superimposed on me. That is what is the main objective of knowing this superimposition? The main objectives of knowing this superimposition is to disconnect our concept of body. That is the main objective. So our body is actually the body means not the physical body. Body means the concept of body is superimposed on our consciousness. And what is the reason? Who is the main player here? Who is the main player for which we are experiencing this superimposition?
Avidya.
Because of mind, we are experiencing this superimposition. Now, here is the very interesting question. There are some conditions for superimposition. You are only watching snake on the rope. You are not watching a tree on the rope. You cannot see. You cannot see a human being on the rope. So the first condition is which is superimposed that has some kind of similarities.
Similarity, yeah.
Similarities with the substratum. Number two, you must know the substratum and you must know the superimposed. If you don't have any idea about that is rope and that is snake, how can you understand that? So before superimposition, you must know, afterwards, not now, last. So before superimposition, you must have the experience about the substratum and about the superimposition. This is the second condition. Now the third point. We know snake, we know rope, but do we know consciousness?
No. It's beyond
And the
knowing.
consciousness and body are completely opposite things.
No, they're not like that.
Then how they are superimposing? If we say that it is superimposed, the similarities, some kind of similarities must be there. But body and consciousness doesn't have any similarity. So why we can say that it is superimposed?
Different frequencies.
Another condition is required, and that is our memory. If we must have the experience, and from where this snake is coming? This snake is coming from the memory. So we must have this memory for long time. So why we experience this superimposition of body on the consciousness? It is because birth after birth we are experiencing this body, this I am the body, I am the body, I am the body. So birth after birth, so we have piled up experience, memory, that body, I am the body.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why this superimposition. So what kind of ajnana is playing here? Mula ajnana. So it is the mula ajnana is working here. And our memory. So two things are important for superimposition. One is mula ajnana and another is the mind. If we can control one of the things, superimposition we can. So, this ignorance and avidya is supported by mind. Again, so a man's involvement in samsara is due to superimposition. The bondage of superimposition is created by the mind only. It is the primal cause of the griefs of birth and death for the man of non-discrimination caught up in the rajas and tamas. So in the rajas and tamas, actually, this is the verse we are studying. Udhyasa doshat purusasya sangsriti. Sangsriti means this vicious cycle of birth and death. Sangsritir udhyasa bandha tu amuna eva ulbita. All these bondage is nothing but the imaginary. So by the mind, with the help of rajas tamas, this all these qualities in entering, and our mind is reacting like that, because mind is only, but mind is not the rajas tamas. What is the product? Mind is sattva.
We also learned it's Adhyana.
Adhyana, but it is, see, go ahead and see Manomaya Kosha. The mind is the sattva. So when mind is generating, remember the tree, mind is generating from the sattva. Go ahead
Yeah,
and
buddhi
see.
and manas. The sattvic aspect.
Yes.
Just 2 verses before, we also studied Adhyana is also.
Adhyana, definitely Adhyana.
So then,
But how Manomaya Kosha is built?
Yeah. How do these two go together then? How can Adhyana and Sattva?
Ajnana is the principle, it is always there. Mind is not ajnana, it is there. Without mind, this odhyasa we cannot experience. So all the experiencing organ is the mind. And experiencing means the false experience. Yes. And this principle is called ajnana. So these false things. So we know the body, we know the consciousness, and then this superimposition is happening because of our mind. So this is the main problematic part. The mind.
So this Adhyasa, is really the crystal power
Well, I am not telling what kind of adhyasa. That is a very specialized thing. Obviously, that is ananya adhyasa. Ananya adhyasa means the flower at the So that is the flower. So I am not talking about the what kind of adhyasa it is, but it is adhyasa, simple adhyasa. Now, and because of that, all kind of by the term adhyasa bandha, it is conveyed that the adhyasa superimposition, which is the cause of samsara, is to be traced to the mind. The bondage itself is of the form of adhyasa. By the text, mana prasuta means mind generated. It is said that body with the senses is born out of mind. The import is that adhyasa is the creation of the mind. Through the adhyasa, which is the cause of the succession of birth and death and the flow of samsara by them, the mind is the primal cause of all kind of griefs constituted by birth and death, old age, disease, etc. So, mind has the experience, and from that experience, mind is visualizing the devil, body is superimposed. And if body is there, obviously, me and mind will come, then all other things will suffer. Now, Amit, question.
Mula Jnana and the mind, how can they be different? As in, Mula Jnana should be predecessor for the mind. Without that,
Yes, absolutely. Mula Jnana is the first.
so they're not different
Mind
entities.
comes way down after Hiranyagarbha. What was your question?
Not so much a question, just a comment. Basically, when we start learning Vedanta, we learn about Maya. So this is actually the mechanism of how Maya works, how it creates the illusion, is through superposition in using memory. So that's why.
Okay. Now verse number 180. Any question from online? Do you have any question from anybody from online?
No, Maharaj.
Yes. No. Yes or no?
No, Maharaj, as of now.
Okay. Thank you. So next verse. Atah prahur mano avidyam. So atah, for this reason. What is the reason? The reason is we are going this vicious cycle because of that. Atha means that. For this reason, yes. For this reason, Prahur means said. It is Tattvadarshinaha. Those who are the, Tattvadarshina means who has visualized the principles, who are the seer. Panditaha, Tattvadarshina Panditaha said, Prahur means said, mind avidya, just like wind scattered these clouds, just like that, it scattered the mind, and it never allows the mind to come at one point. So that is why meditation is very difficult. It is because just like the wind, so the wise who know the truth have declared that the mind itself is avidya. It is by it that the universe is tossed about like clouds by the wind. So all our thoughts are simply distorted, and that is why Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita, verse number 34, chapter 6 said, Tasyaham nigraham manne vayurivo suduskaram. As winds blows everything and scattered, very difficult to collect those things. If a dust is there and the wind blows it. It is extremely difficult to collect that dust again. So exactly in the same way, the mind, just like a wind, blows our mind. And as a result, we find all the worldly things here, there, and we are like a bag, we are like, trying to collect our mind there. How can we collect the mind? Because mind is blown and everywhere. So it is very difficult to collect the mind at one point. It is because of this, the wise people there. Because our mind is only avidya. It is the ignorance. It is the problematic part. Not the mula ajnana. Mula ajnana is there. We do not have any control to mula ajnana. It is there. But what we can do, we can control the mind. We can train our mind so that it will not see the wrong thing. It will not see the superimposed thing. It will not see the snake. It will see the bull. And now, from the next verse, it is said, now, what should be done by a seeker of liberation is stated from the next verse. So this is the situation of mind. You can understand. The whole problematic thing is the mind. And mind. Don't believe your mind. Only, nigraha. Nigraha means? Yes. No, nigraha means, punish this mind. Give task to the mind. Give this. Don't allow mind to unfold its mood. Yes. Just press down what mind will tell. I would say it is the pratipaksha bhavana. What mind will tell, say no. First tell no. You are telling that, not allowed. But just opposite thing we do. What mind is prompting, we jump into that. And mind is dragging us back. Lot of things are also there in the mind. We shall, I read, it is the Jatha Kendu, I think we have finished it. 145. Can you please check? A simple 45, 145 I think. Yatha Kendu Tena. It is just like a ball, tennis ball. 145, no?
No, it's not.
Please check. Yatha Kendu Tena.
One ball.
No,
Okay.
the tennis ball. Kenduka means the ball. Cricket ball. Kenduka, yes, Sanskrit is called. So it is just like a tennis ball. If you release a tennis ball on the top of the staircase, what will happen? That ball will fall down and it will go here and there. So exactly our mind is just like that. If you let it go, it will take you anywhere and everywhere. Don't allow your mind. Our mind is our friend and our mind is our foe. Don't allow your mind to let it go. Make it tight, like a dog chain. Always. And don't allow him to, raise its hoof. Then he will bite you. That is our thing. You can Google it also. Ask ChatGPT. Jatha Bindu Ena. What is that? Which verse number? Viveka Chudamani. Achha, now the next one. Tan manah, that mind. Tan manah shodhanam karjam prajatnena mumukshana. Very simple Sanskrit. Tan manah shodhanam karjam prajatnena mumukshana. Those who are mumukshu, they try to purify that one. Shodhanam karjam prajatnena, with all sincerities. They are trying to do that. Vishuddhe swati chaitasmin mukti karo halayate. Therefore, the man who earnestly desires liberation, mukshu, what they do? With all sincerities, tat manah sodhanam, that impure minds, they try to purify. Karjam, cha etasmin vishuddhe sati, and if this mind is become purified, mukti paraphalayate, it is just comes in our hand. If we can purify this mind. If the mind is purified, liberation is easily realized as a fruit in the palm of one's hand. Therefore, the man who earnestly desires liberation must purify his mind. If the mind is purified, liberation is as easily realized as fruit of the palm. That is, what is the purification? What is the purification? We have already studied the purification in Shama, Dama, Uparati, etc. We have Shata Sampatti. We have already studied that. So that is the purification. There are lots of purification. What are the purification of the mind? We actually try to. The purification of the mind is all what we studied. How this superimposition takes place, if we can do this. Number one, so lot of things. If there are different approaches, let me explain in this way. There are different approaches. Now I am talking about the practical. How we can do that. So book is telling that you have to purify your mind. And it will say, afterwards, it will say, the first thing is you have to purify, and then the next verse, Vishayashu ragam nirmulam sannyasasya cha sarvakarma. All the Vishaya, it is said, mokshai asatya, those who are asatya moksha. Asakti means the concern by concentrated dedication to the desire for liberation. Here, concentrated dedication for liberation. Let me see in other book what they gave. So mokshanam asatya, those who are he who by means of one-pointed devotion to liberation, asatya means who are connected, who are dedicated to become liberated, sincerely trying. So what they will do, asattana, Vishayeshu ragam nirmulya. So Vishayeshu ragam nirmulya. So Vishayeshu raga means attachment. Vishayeshu ragam nirmulya. So mula means the root. So from the root they will cut asunder. They will deduct it from the root. So what they will do? Roots out the attachment for the sense object. Vishayeshu ragam. Ragam means attachment. Vishayeshu rago nirmulya. They root out from the root. They uprooted the attachment with the Vishaya. And then sannyasa cha sarva karma. That means renounce. Sannyasa means renounce all actions. Obviously, here all actions means that are done with the selfish motive and mentally. So, all actions, what is Vishayasa raga? That they are. And then Sat Shraddhaya Yah Sravanadi Nishto Raja Sabhavam Sa Dunoti Buddhe. Then it is said that Sat Suddhayam means with full faith towards the Brahman, Sravanadi Nishtam. Sravanadi means Sravana Adi. Sravana Adi Nidhyasana. So with all these, Nishtha Sampanne, with all sincerity, Sa Buddher Rajas Sabhavam Dhunoti. Dhunoti means destroy. So they destroy the Rajas Sabhava of their mind. What is Rajas Sabhava? What is the effect of Rajas Sabhava of the mind? Go outward. Aham. This is Rajas Sabhava. Rajas Sabhava. Activities. These are Rajas Sabhava. Raja is the activity. So Rajas Sabhava. Me and my ego. So these are Rajas Sabhava. They cut asunder the Rajas Sabhava. So he who by means of one-pointed devotion of liberation, who has that tenacity of liberation, those who are one-pointed, yes, mumukshu, they root out the attachment for sense objects, renounce all actions, and with faith in the real Brahman regularly practices hearing. Hearing means Sravana Manana Nidhyasana. Regularly they practice Sravana Manana Nidhyasana, succeeds in purging the Rajasika nature of the intellect. So that is what they do. That means they control the outward mind. Now, the purification. There are different types of purification. We should learn all types of purification. And what is helpful for us, we should apply that. There are many. I would request someone to write it down. I shall personally note that afterwards, and I shall give you the list. So it will be helpful in our day-to-day spiritual practice. So the first one is Shakshi. So this world is completely illusory, impermanent. That is the first one. Then the next purification is the separation of the will from the desire. The third one is the separation of our work with the vasana. This is Pratipaksha Bhavana. Pratipaksha Bhavana is that disconnect your emotion. So in everything there is a form, name and form and emotion. When, try to understand very carefully, so when we have urge for something, what happens in our mind? Try to understand. When we feel some urge to do something, what happens in our mind? The form and name and form is same thing. So name and form is always connected. So name and form is connected with our emotion. If there is no emotional urge, there must not be image. And emotional urge at the same time will. First we have to disconnect the will. That is very forceful. The second, our emotion. If we can disconnect that, then also our emotion will get. So when there is any kind of, as for example, if I feel an urge to take Rasagula, what shall I do? Name and form Rasagula, and then I have the emotional urge. So I have either I have to remove the name and form and put instead there another name and form, or the emotional urge I have to connect with, disconnect from Rasagula and connect with another things. Does it make sense? So this is meditation. So then immediately you will find that the vasana, what is in our mind, will go. Immediately.
But the emotion that you bring has to be stronger than that Rasagula emotion. Otherwise it won't work.
No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. If you can connect that, that's all. As for example, okay, I have an examination tomorrow, and tonight is a Super Bowl or World Cup soccer final or something very important, Brazil and Argentina. So, what shall I do? Shall I watch the game or I shall study? Okay? So now, how can we detach that? So I have to bring a similar thing. I have to connect my emotion with the success of my examination. What are the factors in the success? So I have to run in my mind the success story. I have to visualize the success mechanism. So automatically, if my interest is there, if my future is there, immediately my mind will turn there. So that we have to practice. Everything is the practice. We have to practice that. That is the only way. So this is one of the things.
Swami, can you quickly repeat what the first two were?
No,
So the
sorry.
third one was separate.
Because I am in a flow, I am
Okay.
telling it, so I may miss it. That is why I told in the beginning, please write it down. I shall take from them itself, from the
Okay.
devotees itself, to make the final list. Because in flow I am telling you what is in my mind. So these are the factors actually, and obviously, the Vedantic sense, these are all Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Here is Vedantic sense, yes, the Sakshi, the witness attitude. The witness attitude only when we have to practice, when we can completely disconnect the will from the desire, when we will become free, totally free. This is actually the core, which is the purity of mind is this. When Viveka and Vairagya extremely active, that is the purity. So this is what we studied this thing. So it is said mind is the main factor. So try to move mind from your body. These are the game, these are the practice. Play with it. Imagine our puja. Just stop. It happens. It is completely. Think other things. Wholehearted. That is why meditation is important. Why meditation is important? Because in meditation, meditation is not that you are thinking one thing very in one pointedness. Meditation is, Swamiji said this, meditation is withdrawing your mind also. Meditation doesn't mean you are applying your mind to one point. Meditation means withdraw your mind from the worldly things also. So these both things you have to practice. Then only you can focus. If you do any kind of thing, you can focus it very intensely. So you can disconnect your will and you can apply your will. So how you can disconnect the desire? Shama, Dama. Shama, Dama is the case. And Upurati, I said that the Vairagya. Vairagya is the way. Pure Vairagya is the way. When you disconnect the will from all kind of instinct, emotion, feeling, everything. Stand up. So these are, I think, that all of our devotees who are attending my class, they are aware of it. I earnestly request you, start practicing. At least start the ball rolling. It is extremely important. However, if you have any question,
Swamiji, when we have to practice, say, controlling the mind, or so is this the buddhi aspect working on the mind aspect of antakarana when you, what is trying to control what? Because it's all in the mind, right, that we have.
Please tell me.
When we want to practice purification of mind, the effort comes from the buddhi aspect of our antakarana to purify the mind aspect.
There are you are listening to it. Do it Sravana Manana Vidyasana. That urge will come from Sravana Manana Vidyasana. This is one part of it. The second part of it, Viveka, discrimination. From discrimination it will come.
So is that considered like the higher part of the mind working on the lower aspect of the mind? Because Sakshi is always separate,
Sakshi
right?
is very difficult.
Yeah.
I would say Sakshi Bhav is very Dridrisha is extremely difficult. It's an extremely high. So we cannot disconnect our mind completely. So Sakshi Bhav is that we disconnect our mind completely and we shall simply watch it. It is extremely difficult, we cannot do it. So what we have to do, we have to connect our mind to disconnect from something.
Just like child is.
Right. Simple. That is what we have to do. But we have to see what happens. People try to get rid of drinking and they start smoking. And then they connected with smoking, merge with smoking. Not like that. So this is not the solution. So what we have to do, Sri Ramakrishna also said, the son was drinking, the father said that you stop drinking, then the son said, yes, I can stop drinking if you can drink only one day. So father drank and then father said, okay, so son stopped drinking, but father said, you stop, but I shall continue. Like that. So it is not like that. So we have to be aware of this. The good part is that our mind always warns us that what is good, what is bad. We know, we can understand. So only we have to practice. That's it. Anything we shall discuss it afterwards also. Any other question from online?
Yes, Maharaj.
Yes, please.
I'm reading the commentary of Swami Prasannatmananda, and he seems to emphasize the sattva quality. The verse 179 about imposition, superimposition. He says, he who was without discrimination, full of rajas and tamas, creates bondage. And he who is in the sattva quality, his mind cannot create bondage. And then in verse 82, he says, he alone who does this gets rid of the rajas and tamas qualities of intellect and gains the sattva quality. Is the sattva quality the same as purity?
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So someone whose mind is pure cannot create bondage, or if
Right.
you get rid of rajas and tamas, then you can gain that purity, which is sattva.
Yes, it is absolutely correct. But
Okay.
we were actually analyzing how to get that.
Ah,
Yes. We can understand that yes, we have to develop sattva. It is true, no doubt about that. But how to do that? That is the question. what that is written in the book, but how to do that?
Yeah.
That will help us in our spiritual life. That we have to practice. What we have to practice to develop sattva quality in our mind. That is the question.
Yeah. And those were what you gave us.
Yes, a few points I gave, but I shall give more.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so Swami, just a couple quick comments. So that was very interesting. You mentioned how one approach is to substitute one vice for another. Like you try to give up drinking and you take up smoking, or vice versa. But so that can go either way, because one, it can be helpful if you give up a harmful vice for something that's positive and healthy, and that's one way to get rid of the harmful vice. So it can be a good approach, or it can be a negative approach if you substitute another harmful vice for the one you're trying to get rid of. So it can be either helpful or harmful depending on how you use it. I'm reminded of, on a separate but related note, I'm reminded of a conversation I once had with Swami Prasannatmananda, who was a monk at Olima one time, because he used to talk about issues with working professionals and like doctors and psychiatrists, and he said a psychologist who wrote a book once said that people play different games. For example, some people are narcissists, some are played a victim game, and he said that a psychologist once determined that people just move from one game to another. They just replace one psychological game with another. So I'm kind of reminded of that when you talk about, replacing one vice with another. So just wanted to make that comment.
Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. I think we will have next Sunday our class. We will have next class, and that will be the last class before our summer. Next Sunday we will have the last class before our summer recess, and then we will have summer recess. We have 4th of July. I request you all to come with your family, friends and acquaintances on 4th of July program. So there will be 5 songs we will speak, and then one scientist, his name is Subrata or what's the name? So he is the physics professor of UC Berkeley. He worked in Sharm also. He is an emeritus professor. So he will speak on the spirituality and science. He will speak on that. And the theme of our 4th of July program is the gift of Swami Viveka from liberty to liberation. So that is the theme, and there will be meditation, there will be flower offering, musical songs, and last program will be very interesting, Sandhu, and he is the disciple of Sri Shankaracharya. I request you, please inform your family, friends and acquaintances so that many people will come.
Swami, July 4th is a Saturday, correct?
Yes.
Calendar says that.
Okay.
Yes, but Wednesday meditation, we shall continue the Wednesday meditation. Meditation workshop on 25th and 26th will be the meditation. workshop. But those who have already attended, because our space is limited, so please don't register. So 10:30 to 4:30, 2 days meditation. Are you coming on 4th of July?
Can we arrange carpools?
That I don't know. That is personal affair. Okay. Thank you very much, those who are online.